For RavenCentral.com, my name is Clay Miller, and this is The Extra Point. Today, I'm joined by Blake Byler, another intern at Bama Central, who is covering last night's victory for Alabama women's basketball against Tennessee, a big upset for them at home against the ranked team. Blake, what did you see last night from the women's team, and how were they able to pull off the upset?
Yeah, well, I saw honestly probably the best game that Alabama women's basketball has played all season. They had a top 12 team, number 12 Tennessee, coming into Coleman Coliseum, and you saw Alabama just clicking on all cylinders on both sides of the ball. Honestly, Megan Abrams and Brittany Davis, the two senior guards, combined for 50 points. I think Abrams had 27 and Davis had 23. Their shots were falling. Alabama's three-pointers were falling. On defense, Alabama was active. They were able to get a bunch of steals, force turnovers. They were always engaged. They had high energy the entire game. One of the biggest things is even once Alabama built a lead, Tennessee would try to switch up their defense. They started running a bit of a zone. Alabama was still able to keep their composure. Hannah Barber was able to find a bunch of open teammates for threes. And so really just everything went well for Alabama last night. Definitely the most complete game they played all season.
Right. And so we've seen them, struggle a little bit in conference play, but a huge victory now. So obviously maybe not making the NCAA tournament this year, but what are the outlook for the team you think maybe going forward for the rest of the year? And are there some positive signs to look forward to maybe going forward for fans next year?
Yeah, absolutely. So in the press conference last night, Coach Curry talked a lot about building on this win that we just saw them have. And so we've seen Alabama perform well against teams. Like you saw them go into playing Tennessee the first time in Knoxville, or playing Georgia, another top 15 opponent in Athens. And Alabama had really good first halves, and they were in the game all the way to the end, but just couldn't close it out. And so you've seen the potential that this team has had against some good opponents. You've also seen them struggle against some not as good opponents. So if you can see Alabama continue to play with this kind of consistency throughout the end of the season, who knows, you could see them finish conference play strong and even have a good showing in the SEC tournament. And obviously, a bid to the NCAA tournament is on the line if you win the SEC tournament, but if not, you can still finish the season strong with a nice little run if Alabama continues to play as consistently as they did last night.
Right. And either way, a really solid victory for the team and hopefully a lot of momentum going forward. Thank you
Absolutely.
so much for joining me today, Blake, once again for BamaCentral.com. My name is Clay Miller, and this has been The Extra Point.